8 worst towns to live in Northern Ireland. Let us put it in the right context before we take it so far. The expression worst towns here is going to be subjective and relative. This is because Northern Ireland is a generally good place to live. Regardless of how good a region is, however, some parts of it will be better than others. On the other hand, those parts of the region that are not regarded as the best are in that context not so good. And if all of the parts of a region are just good, the least good among them is invariably the worst. It is in that sense that we now want to show you the 8 worst towns to live in Northern Ireland. 8. Ballymena. Let's begin with Ballymena, a large town in County Antrim. The town, with a population of more than 29,000, is the 8th largest town in the region by population, but it's also one of the worst towns to live in Northern Ireland. Gone are those days when the town was prosperous and when a lot of factories were providing job opportunities. The town has now suffered from a gripping recession that not only deterred investment in manufacturing, but also stressed out existing shopping centres. Though some attempts have been made to rejuvenate the town economically, the unemployment rate is still very high. The shopping centres are no longer bustling as they used to be due to badly reduced purchasing power and low demands in the town. Besides, there are several rough areas, such as Harryville in the town. Generally, the town that hosts 7 towers lacks prosperity, though it's one of the safest places to live for people with legitimate business dealings. 7. Lurgan. Lurgan is another large town on this list. It is in County Armagh near the southern shore of Lough Neagh. The town is located about 18 miles southwest of Belfast, having been linked together by the M1 motorway. Additionally, the Belfast-Dublin railway line serves this town with a population of 28,634 within the Armagh, Banbridge and Craigavon districts. Even then, it is one of the worst towns. It is divided along the religious line, no thanks to the housing anomaly. This is especially apparent in its worst part. Many of the people born in the town would prefer not to live there if they are not landlords. Houses there are usually up for buying to own, not to rent. That is why it's not a good place to live in Northern Ireland for foreigners. You will get rental areas only on Ardbow Drive and Trasna Way, but in Pollock Drive and Grey Estate, you're in for a completely different experience. 6. Strabane. We're now in County Tyrone to find the town named Strabane. Lying on the east bank of the Foyle River, it had a population of 13,172. It is located roughly midway from Omagh, Derry and Letterkenny. Strabane is also on this list of the 8 worst towns to live in Northern Ireland. Strabane has remained stuck to that unpopular tag to not only in Northern Ireland but also in the UK as a whole. For instance, out of 317 local authority areas in England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland, it is the 8th worst to live according to the research carried out by Channel 4. The research measured 5 criteria home buyers always consider, namely crime, education, employment, environment and lifestyle. The town performed woefully in all of them. It has been ranking badly for livability for years on end. 5. Ballyclare. This is another town in County Antrim on this list. Ballyclare is a small town with a population of 9,953. It is within the Antrim and Newtonabbey Borough Council area. This town that sits on the River 6 Mile Water probably owes its origins to its being a town that is a crossing point of the river. This isn't the kind of town you'd love to live in. The houses in Ballyclare are devoid of classiness anyone relocating from a modern town would love to live in. Yes, it has some estates, but many of them are considered shitty by those who have tried to find a good place to settle in there. No wonder the housing is very cheap in the town. The popularly touted Grange Valley Drive in the town looks like anything but an estate. And that is what the town considers their plush area. 4. Craigavon. We have another town in County Armagh on this list. It is the town of Craigavon, a town named after the first Northern Ireland Prime Minister James Craig. The town, whose construction began in 1965, is not a good place to live, no thanks to safety issues. As recently as December 2022, it is the most dangerous major town in Armagh. Out of the 10 towns, villages and cities in Armagh, it is the second most dangerous. The crime rate in the town in 2022 was 77 per 1,000 people. That was 11% higher than the rate for the whole of the county, given at 69 per 1,000. The most common crimes in this town, paired with Ag Common, are violence and sexual offences. No wonder prices of homes in this town are going down. For instance, the average cost of homes in a recent listing went down by 18.4% from £108,370 to £91,530, according to figures from Halifax. 3. Kilkeel. Kilkeel is a small town in County Down. This civil parish and townland is only about 554 acres, and it is the southernmost town in the region of the UK. Lying within the historic barony of Mourne, the town of about 6,600 people is the main fishing port on the county coast, having a harbour that is home to the largest fishing fleet. We agree that Kilkeel is one of the worst towns to live in Northern Ireland because of the state of its streets and residential estates. A councillor in Mourne even confesses that Kilkeel has the worst street in Northern Ireland. This is inhibiting vehicular and human movement. It appears that the Southern Division of the Department for Infrastructure has deleted the town from its map. Greencastle Street and Binion Avenue, just off the Carnegie Road in the town, are in such a pathetic state that it is even difficult for kids to ride their bicycles safely on those roads. 2. Dungiven. Coasting closer to home, we get to Dungiven, a very small town and townland in County Londonderry. Also a civil parish, this town is close to the main A6 to Derry Road, which bypasses it. Dungiven is the confluence of the rivers Roe, Owenrach and Owenbeck to the foot of the 1,525 feet Benbradach. The town, with a population of about 3,500, is not far from Glenshane Pass, where the road is at an elevation of 1,000 and it's within Causeway Coast and Glens District Council area. While some people could see some good things about this town, it is being berated as one of the worst towns to live in Northern Ireland, no thanks to its air quality. According to several organisations, Dungiven has some of the worst air qualities not only in Northern Ireland, not even in the UK alone, but also the whole of Western Europe. Its air quality is in breach of the UK annual nitrogen dioxide standard, not once, not twice, but several times. When compared with Euro data, it is in the top 10% of areas for NO2 pollution. 1. Larne. The very worst town to live in Northern Ireland is Larne. I know some people may not quite agree with this. Some may even feel that Larne has no business being on any list. We understand. Those people may have watched a video from a credible source that lists it among the best. They might be so quick to refer to such videos. However, don't forget that there are two sides to every coin. Based on the livability score, the town of Larne scores lower than all other towns mentioned here. The huge paramilitary presence in the town that some depend on for the rest of mind is actually a harbinger and a reminder of the high level of insecurity there. The major port town, also in County Antrim, precisely on the east coast, though has some attractions like the Promenade. However, the only thing you may love about the town is the road leading out of it. In a recent popular ranking, the town ranked as an unpopular choice as Ireland's most aesthetically depressing town. A satirical comment about Larne is that it would be a nice scene in a dystopian film set, adding that it has a bleak energy. Truly, if other metrics facts were put on the table, some of these towns may not be among the worst. Please, let's have your comments on this or something else. Thank you for watching this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell.